there's a problem in Hollywood right now. Just to show you what the problem is, they have all of this diversity programming now, but they don't have Black showrunners to run these shows.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's because the
Yeah.
development process for creating showrunners has been so shitty, as she said,
Yeah.
that there are no people. It's like every Black showrunner in Hollywood is working right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
That's true.
now you get a show that has a diverse cast, and the cast says, "Hey, we want a Black showrunner." They don't have any
Right.
because all of these shows don't move Black writers up the pipeline, and that pipeline
Right.
up to be an executive producer, and the Black shows that are on TV don't do it, like
yeah.
for whatever reasons. Like for example, I'm just like at the Real Husbands of Hollywood. Sadly, we stayed writers for almost 3 years on a show, and 5 years on the show we were writers. But if I was on another show on ABC or NBC or another network, I would have been at least co-executive producer, or it took me the 6th year to be a producer.
Right.
And now there aren't enough showrunners really in town to meet the need or demand for all of these diverse shows that are coming out. They don't have Black showrunners,
and they kind of prep you, like with the things that I've been developing. You talk to your team, and you do the pitch Bible, you do the treatment, whatever. And I admit I wrote a couple of scripts and didn't get favorable responses. These were years ago, so it kind of shot my confidence.
It's hard.
I was just like, well, maybe this ain't my thing. So I have a partner. We partner together and write, but I know I can write the shit out of a treatment and a pitch Bible, so I stay in my lane.
That's what you need to sell it.
But then when you have those meetings, say, okay, we need the script and so forth and so on, and your team automatically puts in your head, well, even if you write it and you sell it, they're going to bring in a showrunner. They're going to bring in somebody. They're not going to let you run the show
because you haven't had the experience. And let me tell you, showrunning is not it's a skill, and it's a skill that only can be developed with tenure. You can't do it like, okay, I mean, there are some people that get that title and thing on their first run. But I guarantee you there's any person that comes into that situation, came into it with, if they're an EP, came into it with a writing, producing showrunner. You might be a showrunner in creative space, but the showrunner that runs the show, that liaises with the network and the departments, that's a whole nother shift that only comes with being and running the writer's room, comes with tenure and experience.
And it is because I know when I created one-on-one, and I went out to meet with different writers. I had to meet with several writers, and the sister that I met with, God rest her soul, Yanetta Boone, she had a gift. You have to have, there's something you have to be able to balance that writer's room, writers' egos. Hey, look at me, see me, boom, boom, boom. Also get what the network wants. Also get what the studio wants. And also get what I want, and I could have in the beginning, initially, I'm like, well, I'm gonna be in that writer's room, and I had every right to be, but I just stepped back and I said, you know what, it works, and I was okay with that. It works, and the stage, that's my, I keep the energy there. So we always had great energy on set, and it worked out.
That's great that you could trust the room. Because that's hard. It's hard to have to manage and to be in every space.
Yeah, and we had dope people. She brought in dope people. The Devon Shepard. I mean, Meg Deloach. Now has her own show.
And all those people now listen to and that's listen to the names. If flex throughout all those names, those people have walked through the system, and all of them now are running shows.
Yeah.
Your show.
Yeah. And have not called me. Did I say that?
Oh, well.
And all of those.
Call them. Well, hey.
All of those people.
Favor time.
Walked up the pipeline and have been able to branch out and become showrunners. And like I said, all of them are working.
Yes.
There ain't no Black showrunners
in
town. And to Amber's point about it's a closed circle of people that keep hiring, and I understand it. Being in a writer's room, we had the relationship in the room is kind of special because you want to try to recreate the vibe and the feel you have for the show with the same people. Now you can bring in entities and people will come in but the vibe, the room, there's a certain
the tone.
Yeah, the tone exactly of not only the room but the show itself, because you're trying to create the that hit.
Right.
Yeah.
So, right. It's not easy because even being involved on the other stuff, because we just had a system, and then she ran a writer's room, then she would come to me, we have our note session, I go over, I want this, whatever, and then we sat with the network, the studio, and it just worked. And then me, on the other hand, I'm involved in wardrobe, craft services, everything down to craft services I was involved in because I cared. We would, if we had late nights, I'm like, okay, I'm coming out of pocket, let's get an espresso machine to come in here and
dope.
take care of the crew.
That changes.
You know what I mean? We put, myself and we put extra money into the craft services budget so we could have fly shit.
Yeah.
So we can have great stuff. And
like what you provided here tonight.
Oh, I mean,
I had to.
The pink Starburst.
That is actually that's a luxury item. That's a luxury
item. You
item.
Understand?
Yeah.
You are bleeding right now.
This is very
the rarity of
No,
these,
I know. This is a treat.
I dug deep.
This is a treat. Caviar what? Save that.
I owe you.
Later.
I'm not gonna let this down.
I'm gonna cut this up and eat a little bit for the next 4 days.
As I was saying it, I said, I'm setting myself up.
I know.
I'm setting myself. It's okay. That's what you're supposed to do.
I think all these are good. It's also, the type of show that you write for, and making sure you don't get pigeonholed as like, you write for Black shows. Can you write for Succession? I'm like, do you like? Yes.
Like, and that's a sad thing, because that only happens with Black people.
It only happens. Or other people of color, I would imagine. I'm not.
Like, because your talent extends beyond just being able to pigeonhole you in a particular genre or show, whether it's stand-up comedy or 1 hour. Mm-hmm. I know if they were given a script and being in a room, you could create 1 hour and it wouldn't be a problem for you. But they believe Black folks are only in one lane. Like, you can write for the Real Husbands of Hollywood
but
and Martin, but you can't do Seinfeld. It was a lie.
Yeah.
But white guys in reverse, they can do. They can write Black or white. They feel like, and I'll tell you.
Well, they're positioned to do that. That doesn't mean that they can't, because they get in those rooms and know nothing.
And what was really strange is it gives an accolade to a white writer who's written in a Black room, that somehow they're a more seasoned or polished or better writer if they've worked in a Black show or on a Black show and then go to a white one.
Yeah. Because you get your more bang for your, but you ain't got to hire a Black person. Let's hire a white dude.
Let's hire the white dude that wrote it and live in color.
Yeah.
And it's a neglect of common sense, right? Black people, we've been consuming different types of content our entire lives.
Right.
We watch all the white shows. We watch all the Black shows. We watch all the. If it's a good Hispanic show, we gonna watch it. If it's good, we're going to be tuned in. So it's this idea that I think at the end of the day, people really don't know the numbers in their demographics, because if you was really about that research, you would know, Black people consume a lot. We're the number one consumers of content.
Sure. They know that.
We usually have the biggest TV in the house.
They know that.
Watching everything. And me, my first sitcom, started in 1992. Mm-hmm. And from then till now, from note sessions to whatever, the majority of the showrunners have been white showrunners. Yeah. And the ironic thing was sitting in a note session and having, a white writer or studio head or whatever tell me what Black life is like. That's special. Wild. That's when I go, really?
Yeah. I think Kev on stage mentioned something like that, where he was pitching a show. I think it was about church, church people.
Oh yeah, sure. His show.
And he said something to the effect of the people he was pitching it to was like, I don't think Black people are gonna connect with that. It's like, how do you know? Like, how do you know? Yeah. Or how are you confidently even saying this? But again, people have been empowered to make those kind of decisions and to do that. So like with Amberia, do you feel like, because you now you worked your way through like late night writing, you've worked your way through TV writing. Do you feel like it's going to be a very aggressive transfer for you to get to that executive producer level? Or do you feel like it's a quick and doable path for you?
I think it's doable. How quick it is, I think, will depend on a bunch of things. Mm-hmm. I think I've been fortunate also that all of the showrunners I work for in scripted TV have been Black. So that's been like, what? It's been lovely.
Me too.
But yeah, you got to work your way up the ranks, right? You got to go through all the levels, and it's also about the team that you have, right? Like a lot of Black talent, that's the other side of it, is unrepresented, right? So we're navigating contracts we don't understand. We sign things, right? Because you need to get your foot in the door, and then the thing that got your foot in the door just traps you, right? Like then you can't now you can't go here, you can't do this, or I'm in this contract, I can't develop. So you can write for our show, but you can't develop over here, right? And those things, you're fortunate to be working and you want to get in the door, but creating as, your own content, right? Because you can make the leap. Like if I created a show and somebody bought it, I'm a show creator, right? I can jump the ladder, right?
Yeah.
But that all depends on if I'm strapped to something else, knowing the right people who are going to walk in the room with somebody, just this Black girl that Flex said was funny on this show. And let's trust that she's going to create something that people are going to understand and relate to. And is this universal? Is it not? Is it another Insecure? Is it, they always try to make it the thing that they recognize, or if it's something that they don't, it's like,
And that's the funny thing, because I've seen shows come on the air. I mean, shows that I pitched that I'm like, man, I pitched this show 7 years ago. It's like when they're ready for it,
then exactly.
Then it's like they want that plus 10 more.
Yeah.
Yes, they want to replicate that same thing, and it's like, just let Insecure be great. It's a great show. Just let it be, and you can do 8 of them. Sure, there's 1,000 books about Shakespeare.
Yes.
Okay, like do there's 1,000 romantic comedies. I feel like Black people don't get the chance to recreate the same show over and over again. No. You have Friends and Seinfeld, and they're all from this. It's just white people living life. Yeah. We just out here living life, being friends, and being white.
Without us.
What I mean? Like,
without us.
Which is fine, because maybe that's what their world was really like.
Yeah.
But